Y'all, the fourth wing hype has yet to slow down. I honestly don't think I've seen Book Talk be this excited about a book series probably since the continuing support of SJM series. And I love that so much about Book Talk. It gets to a point where so many of us have read it that it's just a continuing conversation that we just get to keep enjoying and theorizing, and that's what I want to talk about today because there have been some wild theories popping out of TikTok. I have assembled some of the ones that I've seen pop up over and over again that I believe have merit to them. Disclaimer, if you've not read Fourth Wing, this will have spoilers. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. I think you know that. Goodbye. So, the first theory is that Xaden is not Endgame.
I should get some sleep.
Or what if he's the next Sam Cortland?
The thing that I found out this week is that there's going to be 5 books total. This is going to be significantly longer than the trilogy that I believed we were getting. Why is this important? Because Xaden and Violet are already together, which means for the most part, their romantic arc has finished, sort of, in that they realize that they've fallen in love with one another. And so people are theorizing that Xaden is the Tamlin of the Fourth Wing world, where we have a whole book with our love interest, only to find out that he's not endgame love interest. This is very possible, but I think Rebecca Yarros would know not to have made him so perfect. Not that he doesn't have any flaws, but as a fantasy male love interest, he's top notch. Everyone's comparing him to Rhysand. So it would be so hard to come in with a follow-up love interest and beat Xaden, basically. Then, second half of that video, she says, what if he's the Sam Cortland? I don't want to spoil the book, so if you know who Sam Cortland is, then you know. And I'm not, no. I will not be accepting that today. Thank you.
This theory that's been going around on Reddit for Fourth Wing. I'll just read it to you. This is out there, but I think somehow Violet has a little bit of Venin in her. In the battle at the end, when the Venin is channeling the flowers are described as losing all their color, it made me think of her hair and how it fades to silver no matter what length it's cut at.
So the theory is that Violet is part Venin. This is not out of question. The reason people think this is because her hair bleeds out to silver, basically like a colorless color. And this corresponds to how the earth works when Venin pull power out of the earth, is that everything loses its color and dies. There's been a separate theory that Violet's mom is in cahoots with the Venin. Her name is Lilith, so. And there's also a theory that Violet's mom killed Violet's dad because he was finding out too much about the Venin. And if that theory is true, then it would make sense that Violet's mother was maybe involved with a Venin and somehow that has transferred to Violet. Because in theory, the Venin are human. It wouldn't be out of question that they could have a human child. And Violet's the most powerful writer in her generation. So it's very possible that she already had some sort of power within her combined with the power that she's channeling from Taryn to be this ultra powerful person.
The more I read this book, the more unhinged I become. Know the theory about the parapet. Advi's mom was using her signet to try to get her off the parapet. Here's the thing though. In chapter 1, Mare is trying to help her get ready to go to the parapet, arguing with Lilith, arguing with their mom. They mentioned that a storm looked like it was on the horizon anyway. So it looked like the storm was already coming. That's number 1. Number 2 that's giving me pause is when Violet's mom says, Mira, Violet deals with more pain before lunchtime than you do in an entire week. If any of my children are capable of surviving the writer's quadrant, it's her. I'm thinking Lilith is going to be a way more complicated character than I initially thought. Then she says, her mother having the dagger is proof that she knew and did nothing about it. But is that true? She forbid her to be a scribe. I think I'm starting to understand it a little bit. Hear me out. The next thing Vi says, I've been defenseless. I tell Xaden, lifting my chin. And now I'm a writer. Writers fight.
We all know that Violet's mom, Signet, is to conjure storms. So why would the storm be picking up right when Violet's supposed to walk across this really slippery parapet? Some people are like, oh, that was her trying to kill off Violet because she thinks she'll figure it out. Even her mother said you're too much like your father. Her father, who we think she might have killed off. Why would she be above killing off Violet? But then there's a contrast where the storm means nothing because right before Violet goes and becomes a writer, her mom mom makes it clear that Violet could do it. The reason she made sure her daughter knows how to fight is because she knows that this war is coming and that the scribes might get taken out, but it's very likely that the riders would make it. Either way, her mom knows a lot more than she ever told Violet or even gave off that she knew about the situation with the Venin and the Griffin. This is my favorite one. So, we know that Dain can touch people's temples or whatever and see their past memories. Some people are thinking that Dain can touch anywhere and see someone's memories. Like, what's the difference between here and here? You know what I mean? Unless he has to have like direct contact with the brain. They're thinking, oh, he just has to touch somewhere, but he has made it seem like he can only touch their face for it to work. Touching someone's face, like, you can kind of avoid that. Grabbing someone's arm, like, that's a different story, and it's very, very powerful for, you know, the powers that be who are controlling Dain at this point. There's this moment where Xaden and Violet are training, and right next to them is Liam and Dain. Why is this important? Because Liam is Violet's overseer, basically, like bodyguard, and Xaden's right-hand man. Any secrets that these two know, Liam's most likely the one to know it out of anyone else. And I saw another interesting video about Imogen's power. She can erase minds. She's an exact contrast to Dain. So if we know that Dain is going to target somebody for their memories, Imogen can go and erase those memories. Violet has all this knowledge, but not necessarily like the memories attached to it, and we feel like she knows all this stuff because she's a scribe. But if Imogen has been erasing her memory because they've been spending a lot of time together, that makes Violet an unreliable narrator. We only know bits and pieces because some of the information we have is just information without a reason behind how she got it. And if Imogen is maybe either protecting Xaden or even protecting Violet because Dain is more likely to access her memories while they're still in their friendship phase. It also makes her a great undercover agent because the Rebellion kids have been moving all these weapons. Like, who's to say Imogen isn't right there just cleaning up the memories as she goes so that nobody can track them? And then some people are thinking that we're gonna get Liam back because when Violet pulls power from Andarna, it's a time controlling type of power. She stops time, basically. But what if we can get time to go in reverse back to that battle where we could save Liam? I personally think that one is pretty far-fetched, but it would save us a lot of heartache. If you have not finished the Divergent trilogy, this is your moment to exit because what we're going to talk about next might spoil some stuff for the Divergent trilogy. The theory that I really don't want to be true is that people are seeing the forward where Jacina, one of the scribes who is Violet's friend, has written this thing where she's like, these stories have been translated to the modern tongue by the scribes to recount all these stories, blah blah blah, whatever. And like the people who have died, may their souls be commended to Malik or something like that, like their god. Why would the forward be written by Jacina if Violet's still around? If you saw my review of Fourth Wing, you know that I think Fourth Wing and Divergent have all of the exact same story beats. Fourth Wing just happens to have dragons. But the thing is, we all know that Triss died. If Fourth Wing really is following a similar hero's journey that ends with Violet dying, that forward makes more sense because otherwise, why would Violet not have written it? Which is really, really upsetting because the book is written in first person. I'm not emotionally prepared for that to happen again. I was an absolute mess when I finished Allegiant. With Fourth Wing, we have 5 books, which maybe she's fine and we get all the way through with her, but maybe she's not, and then halfway through we have someone new come in. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm hoping that's just like an off-the-wall theory, even though I do see the potential for that happening. I will be physically ill if that happens. I want to hear your Unhinged theories. If you've sleuthed out something that you think is really going to happen in the next couple books, I want to know. I'm so bad at forming theories. I just usually when I read books, I'm just like along for the ride. And then people come in with these insane theories that may or may not be true. And I'm just like, we got some detectives. So let me know in the comments. Please like this video if you liked it. Click subscribe if you want to talk about more book stuff. My name's Katelyn. Thanks for watching. Bye.